So, I mean, that is a very common error for them not to realize that, I don't know what they were thinking, but you really need to make sure that they understand these are your positives and this is your negative rail. And anything in here is going to also be negative once you've set up that ground. Anything in this one is always going to be positive. So anything you put in there will get a positive flow.
Yeah. So if that's a little bit confusing, all these little pins in this first column right here, all of these are dedicated to plus, to positive. Yep. All these pins right here are dedicated to your negative, your negative column. So that's where you'll plug it into. So black wire will go right into here in your negative column.
And it doesn't particularly matter which one it goes into.
Yep. And then your resistor, we're going to put that into column C, row 1 of your breadboard.
Maybe you will, but I won't.
And then the other side of your resistor will go into column C, row 5. And then your LED will go into column A in row 1. And the cathode, so we talked about that. Anode is your long side, your positive side. Your cathode is your negative side, your short side. And this one will go into the negative rail. This one will go into column A, row 1. And eventually, once you have all of that set up, you will type in your code. So it'll tell you here like, oh, you need to open up the app. So what I suggest doing before, and even you can start doing this on Monday, is just have everyone download the app. And if they can't download the app, then they probably have like a Chromebook or like an older type of device that just won't let them download it. So you're going to want to tell them use Codebender. And sometimes even that they can't download it. So they'll have to use like a website and they'll do it that way. And if that's the issue, send them to the main room. We'll help them take care of it. But they are going to need this app throughout the whole week. So you're going to want like maybe dedicate a little bit of time at the end of Monday if you have some spare time. And
I would say definitely don't start it too early, but you probably want to be able to get to it before the end of the day on Monday to at least see who's having issues. Mm-hmm. I mean, I've told them 3 or 4 times so far to be ready for it. Mm-hmm. And we all know the magic number is what? 4 for children and 7 for adults. So maybe tell them one more time and you'll have everybody, or we'll have 90% of them that have done it. But
we'll mention it tomorrow at orientation as well. We'll mention,
and we do it again. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. And we invite people to stay over if they need to, and we can help walk them through it.
So then you'll put in like a code. So this is teaching you how to use the app, right? And this is some more prep work. This is your code. So you'll type this into the app and I'll show you what that looks like right now.
And that's all in your notebook.
Yep.
It's all in the notebook. Everything that we talk about is in the notebook. If anybody wants to do anything special, there are some other things that we can do, like somebody wanted to do a fading LEDs. We don't cover that in the notebook, but Arduino certainly covers it, and we can help them get through that too. But there are everything that they need to do to finish their hat and presentation is in the notebook already.
Yep. So you can find all of this on the notebook, and it starts on page 22 for like the circuits everywhere. So the part where I started with you guys on the slides, that starts on page 22, and you just gonna keep flipping through it and you'll see like, oh, here's everything I need. Oh, here's our code. And they'll have like spots for them to fill everything out. And as the coaches, you guys will have like an answer key. So I know like everyone's probably like, oh, well, what if I don't know the answer? Well, you have an answer key. So you can go through the answer key and be like, oh, well, I need to teach them more about this and kind of guide them towards this answer. But don't like show them like don't share your screen and show them, oh, here's all the answers, just write them down. And you're gonna want to guide them and teach them and be like, oh, well, this is where we're gonna connect this wire into. And I'll go over it like thoroughly and like slowly and a lot better than this right now when it comes to the actual camp, but I wanted to get through it quickly for you guys. So this is our code up here, and you'll pretty much type this out, and these numbers can change, definitely can change. And you can tell them, like, once they get it set up, once they get it lit up, you can tell them, oh, well, what if we changed this to 100? What if we took out a 0? What would that do? Oh, what if we made it 10? What if we made it 900? What is that going to do? Is it going to change anything? What if we change this number, and tell them, play around with it, see what they like to do, and discover, like, what do these numbers mean, and kind of guide them towards what they're supposed to be doing and investigating, like, how this all works, right? So this is your code, and up here you can click open. So I saved 2 codes already. So you can tell them, like, when they finish their code and it works, you can tell them to save it, and you click this button right here, and they'll save their code. And then you can later on in the future click open, and it'll bring up those codes you saved, and you can just click it and you can switch into something else, and it'll open that code for you. And then up here you can click new, and I'll just give you a new blank screen. And right here is upload. So once I finish typing all of this out, I'll click this upload button.
Actually, you'll click verify first.
Oh yeah.
You'll always click verify, especially if it's new code. If it's code you've saved and it works, then you don't need to verify it every time. But you should always verify your code before you upload it. And that is another issue that some kids have. They'll be like, it won't upload. Well, did it verify? Oh, no.
Yeah. So if you were to, let's say, have this missing right here, and then you clicked verify, it comes up red, and
Yep.
you see that, and you're like, oh, well, what's wrong with it? And it says like, oh, expected to have this right before you have this.
Semicolon.
Yep. And so you'll put it back in, and you'll click verify again, and it'll be like, oh, it works, And let's say, you spelled something wrong. You put the I before the O. Now it's not lit up blue. So you click verify, and it says, that it's spelled wrong, And so you go back, and it highlights all of this red, and there's a problem here. So you'll click, and you'll go and you verify again, and then it'll say you're done compiling, it's all good, and then you'll click upload. And when you click that upload button, the only reason it says red is because nothing's connected.
Yeah.
But when you click upload, and all of their wires are connected the right way, and they are all connected from, their breadboard into the right places in their, I can just connect it right now.
Yeah.
So now you see that my LED is lit up, and that's because all of my pins are in the right place. My black wire right here is in the negative rail. My resistor is in, my wires are all in, my LED is in. If you were to flip this LED and you put the short end on the other side and the long end on the other side, it's not going to work. It's not lit up. And when you switch it around, so some girls will probably do that. They'll just make a mistake. They'll put it in the wrong way. You'll tell them, like, oh, let me see, like, let's see what's up with your LED, and then you'll be like, oh, well, now it works, And so it might be a problem with that. Some girls, they might miss it. They might think like, oh, they might put it in the wrong pin, and that's not going to work. And so then you'll have to tell them, like, let me check, let me make sure you're in the ground. Let me make sure you're in 5 volts, and you check, and you're like, oh, well, why don't you move that pin over, and it'll go through. So a lot of it is like your connection or something with the computer. And once you figure it out, it'll just work smoothly. But sometimes it doesn't work smoothly. Just send them into the main room like you tried. We'll figure it out with them and spend like more time one-on-one with them. We'll pull them into a different room and work with them on it. But yeah, does that all make sense? So there's also the servo activity also on Tuesday that you'll do as well. But I don't think we have time to go through that. Essentially, it's the same thing. So you'll have all your wires, you'll have your boards, you connect everything together, then your servo is going to spin. And that's how it's going to pretty much work. And you can do it with that servo, you could do it with your other servo, you can make it spin halfway, all the way, 360, 180. It just depends on what you want, which one you connect. And yeah. Does that kind of make sense? I know we went through it ridiculously fast and it was kind of just mainly slides, but that's pretty much what we're going to be doing throughout the week. And after those activities that we just kind of went through, and then we go through all those slides, they're going to on Wednesday construct their hat, and you're going to be helping them construct their hat. And if you go to that, like, if you go to the schedule and you click the links there, it'll tell you, and I'll have videos for you and a bunch of like slides for you, and you just click them, you go to them, and you're like, okay, now I know what to do. Now I know how to guide them. Now I know what to tell them, you know? And we'll talk about it a little bit in the main room before you get put into breakout rooms. And you're probably not going to be alone. Like Dr. Mimi said, a lot of the rooms will probably have someone that's been through the camp already. And if not, we'll probably check in on you a few more times and help you out and guide you through it. But really, if you have any questions at all regarding anything, you can just send me a text. I'll put my number in the chat.
And I think we will. That's great. I mean, that was great, Rose. The perfect timing. So what I do want to share, since we have social coaches coming in now too, I want to make sure that we share the breakout room assignments so that everybody can see who is going to be in the breakout rooms with them. So.
Does anyone, while she's pulling that up, have any questions for me right now that I can maybe answer for you? Okay. Yeah, more or less, you're just looking at the schedule, seeing what we're going to do for that day, pulling up the slides, going through it with them, and then helping them connect everything. If they can't connect it, send them to the main room. We'll help them. We'll send them back to you. And that's how it'll go. And you know, when you're teaching, you wanna try to be, you know, super peppy about it, super excited about it. You want to get them excited about it. This is, you know, supposed to be like crazy fun for them, and it's gonna mean the world to them. And we're really just trying to help girls, you know, go more into STEM, like go into STEM careers, you know, really influence like how they view careers in the future, and not just like, you know, this is what you're told to do. No, this is what you can do, you know? And you want to try to, you know, really help them understand that and see that there's, you know, other things you can do. You can go into robotics, you can be a doctor, nurse, whatever you'd like, you know? And that's what we're really, really about. So, you know, try to encourage them, try to be fun, be the fun counselor. I always recommend it. Be the fun counselor.
Be the fun counselor, and we always need somebody that's going to be the fun enforcer. You know, are you having fun? We're going to make you have fun then.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
and encourage them to talk to each other too, and make like a group chat within your own breakout room. That way you guys can talk and have fun, and you can even have the girls just make one by themselves so that they can connect later on and be like, oh, what's up? You know, let me play an iMessage game with you. Like, you know, let me play Among Us with you, and make friends with their friends and talk to each other throughout the years and connect. And yeah.
What's your question, Me?
Not a question, more of a comment, because I was playing around with the servos before this,
Mhm.
and I noticed that my continuous servo is starting to like leak out like some kind of like sticky juice, and I
It's
accidentally,
leaking
when I was
juice?
trying to like to wipe it and stuff, I kind of actually accidentally pushed it, and it made the servo work again.
I only caught part of what you were saying.
I think she said that it was leaking juice, her servo, and it started to leak a little bit. She kind of wiped it up, and then she pushed it a little bit and it started working again. But she's concerned about it.
I wouldn't be worried about, you know, it's not going to like start on fire or anything unless you put a heavy load on it. Just by turning by itself, nothing should happen, but it may die. You know, just know that it may die on you.
It's okay. You have your other servo. You can just use that one. It'll just, you won't be able to spin it all the way around.
If you're anywhere near a local hub, you may be able to go, they can scavenge from another Spark Fund kit. Or if you're near a branch coordinator who had a camper cancel, she may have an extra one. Where are you at, Me?
Right now, I'm in San Jose right now.
San Jose? I think probably the closest place is Gilroy or Danville.
I can try to ship her one, Mary, tomorrow.
Yeah, but right now, after like I think it only started leaking juice. It was after it started like to like not work, and it had a really like guttery kind of sound. And then after it started leaking juice, and I pushed it a little bit, an accident, it started working again. So right now, if I run the code, both servers are working really fine right now. So I don't think that it should be a problem. But I just wanted to bring it up because
Yeah, I
that
mean,
was a little strange.
the chances of, I mean, we've got, I don't know, 600 of these out there, and the chance 800 of these out there. The chances of something failing is, you know, I'm sure it's at least 1%. So,
I just wanted to say I'm the branch coordinator for San Jose, and
take care.
I have the kit, the Spark Fun kit from you know, a used one from someone who was a coach for Camp One. So maybe I can connect with my and see if I can get. I'm pretty sure I have it. I gotta see if I can find it. I don't want to.
Yeah, no,
promise
don't make
things now, but
promises.
I'm pretty sure I have it somewhere. So
That'd
let
be
me
cool.
look for it and I can connect.
And you know, and me, and then I mean, even if she can get you the servos and you have a couple extra servos, you can make a super hat there with all those servos, right? You
Yeah,
just,
some of them does sound like fun. Like a really like crazy wacky hat. I'm thinking of that.
there you go. There you